Mr. Vikram Singh Mehta, your first reaction to the cabinet reshuffle and the entire noise over the Petroleum Minister's exit, the fact that Mr. Jaipal Reddy has been shunted out, which many are saying is simply because he did not make policies to suit a corporate house, or he did not succumb to any pressures on part of a large corporate house. Your reaction?
My first reaction to the cabinet reshuffle is very positive. In fact, a month ago I was asked a similar question in a different context, and I had said that the government should take two steps. One is it should initiate at least some economic reforms, and secondly it should reshuffle the cabinet and reinvigorate the cabinet through young faces and the promotion of younger cabinet members to full cabinet status. And I think the Prime Minister has done both over the last 6 weeks, and so from a corporate standpoint, the decision that the cabinet, that the Prime Minister made over the weekend is a very positive one. As Mr. Pai said, they're young faces, very experienced people, very clever people who have now taken charge of extremely important economic ministries. Jyotiraditya Scindia is the Minister of State for Power. I think there can be very few people who will contest the statement that he has great capability to manage what is an extremely difficult ministry. Sachin Pilot will tackle corporate affairs. Here again, there's some major issues that have to be handled, like the company bill, and he is one of the better people that can do so. So in general, the cabinet reshuffle is a very positive step. Now, as far as the so-called reshuffle of Mr. Jaipal Reddy, I'm actually quite perplexed as to why everyone thinks this is on account of some corporate influence. I have no idea why Mr. Jaipal Reddy was moved from the Petroleum Minister. From the Petroleum Ministry, he was doing, he's an extremely brilliant man, and certainly in my interaction with him, I found him very receptive. The fact of the matter is, when you look at corporate India's record with the ministry, you will find that on many occasions it has been unable to get what it wants. The retail license was given to corporate India on the grounds, on the condition that it invests $500 million, and with the assurance that the playing field would be level with the public sector companies. That has not been the case, so every company that has got the license for marketing petrol and diesel has been making losses. Companies that have found gas offshore East India are given a price that is 1/3 the price that is the international price of gas. Now, if you were to say to me that this is reflection of corporate India's influence over the Ministry of Petroleum, I think that is completely wrong. Certainly there is evidence of crony capitalism elsewhere. I'm not going to deny that. But to ascribe crony capitalism in the Ministry of Petroleum should be done with a lot of evidence to support it. And I certainly, from my experience in the ministry, in the oil ministry for the last 15 years, have found very little evidence of corporate India successfully managing to change the government policy in its favor and against national interest. So I'm not sure that I agree with all that's been ascribed in Mr. Mohandas Pai's initial comments. I wouldn't agree with that. The decision to move Mr. Jaipal Reddy must have been taken by the Prime Minister for reasons that only he would know, but I certainly don't think it's because corporate India initiated that move.
All right, very strong statements there from Mr. Vikram Singh Mehta, who clearly understands the way the Petroleum Ministry functions, has been associated with this sector for many, many years. Mr. Narendra Taneja, you're another person who understands the way the ministry functions, and you've heard two clearly opposite views. That of Mr. Mohandas Pai, who says, let's not be in denial of that crony capitalism that exists, of the influence that corporate houses have over policy making. And Mr. Mehta, who clearly seems to say that this is completely incorrect, and what is being said is completely out of context.
You see, we can't deny that there have been no kind of standoff between a big corporate house in Bombay and Mr. Jaipal Reddy. You can't deny that. You see, it would be denying something which everybody knows.
Okay.
So you can't deny that. But having said that,
I mean, it is something that within the petroleum
within the
sector,
petroleum, but
everyone knows that
Was a
Reliance
standoff.
Industries did not enjoy a very good relationship with Mr. Jaipal
everybody knows
Reddy.
it. Everybody,
Right.
you see, it's no secret.
Not just Reliance Industries. In fact, it was Kin India also. I mean,
and
a lot of
the
other.
private sector. In fact, the private sector as a whole, that includes the foreign oil and gas companies too. But my assessment is the real lead is entirely different. Mr. Jaipal Reddy is a very honest man, very competent. He is also very honest to his political ideology,
Right.
which is socialism. He's an old-fashioned socialist. He still lives in the era of 1960s and 1970s. So he had his own idea of petroleum and natural gas, and he was
Which
basically
perhaps did
pushing.
not go down very
with
well
the Prime Minister office
Hold
and
your
the Planning
thought, because
Commission.
I want Mr. Keshava Rao to respond to what you're saying. Mr. Keshava Rao, the first statement that Mr. Narendra Taneja has made here is that he was an honest man and a competent man. Why would an honest and competent man be shunted out is my question.
Well, I can only say, Taneja, first of all your panelists have spoken so late. It is heartening to hear them that everything is going well. But Mr. Taneja has his own version to give you. But let all the panelists know, if at all there is one person in politics who knows Jaipal Reddy, we have been the childhood buddies and we studied together, we entered politics together. So I know him best. To say that he has been a socialist living in 70s is wrong.
India's #1 news app just got even better. Download NDTV's new app. Fully optimized for retina display. Full screen view. Faster response time. And Sudoku. NDTV's new iPad app. Download now.